me, your teacher, Vic. Boom. So, today we are talking about different words. Today we're going to be learning a lot of words connected with people. People. So, people are different type of people. You got doctor, you got teacher, you got driver. But I'm going to be teaching you today words which are connected to people. And so the first word is adolescent. Okay, the word will be here, adolescent. Okay, so what does it mean by adolescent? And it's basically another way of saying teenager, right? Teenager. Now, let me tell you very carefully why I'm teaching you these words today is because you wanna be sound a bit sexy, or it just sounds better when you're using these words. Perhaps you don't want to use the word teenager all the time or young adult. You could say the word adolescent. Adolescent. Okay? The next word is number 2 is atheist. Repeat after me. Say it. Atheist. Okay? An atheist is a person who does not believe in God. Okay? And is basically a person who is not so religious and he needs some answers. I suppose that's the same word in Polish as well. It's an atheist. Right, the next word is a benefactor. A benefactor. So a benefactor is a person who gives you the money. So that's a benefactor. So for example, if my auntie gives me $1 million, so she is the benefactor and I am the beneficiary. Okay? Also, European Union funds are the benefactors and Poland is the beneficiary of the European funds. Maybe not now, but many years ago it was like that. So a benefactor is a person who gives the money to somebody. You could give the money to the church, for example, so you will be the benefactor then, okay? All right. The next one is a bigot. Bigot. Bigot, the noun is bigotry. A bigot is a person who, it's basically a person, he or she does not want to change his opinion. So even though I'm going to give you a really good, reasonable argument, and I'm going to explain you, and I'm going to tell you, no, there are no aliens, the aliens do not exist. A person who is a bigot, he would be pissed, he would be angry to change his mind, and he would rather get frustrated if you try to even give him a reasonable approach of some evidence. A bigot is a person who has a radical opinion about something, and this person, he does not change his mind, to be honest with you. He stick with that. He's a pretty rigid and radical person. So think about the people who are a bit of a bigot people. They do not change their mind. I'm pretty sure you can find somebody in your family, in your friends, teachers. You could be a bigot, for example, about something, about a football team, for example. And no matter what I'm going to tell you, you will still think that he or she or the team is the best team ever. So that's called a bigot. Okay, so the next one is a charlatan. A charlatan. A charlatan is a person who falsely claim to have a special skills and knowledge, especially about medicine, for example. Now, I'm pretty sure that there is the same word in Polish as well, the charlatan. And charlatan is basically the person who's trying to be somebody, but he's not. And I don't know if you guys have watched the movie Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo, and he was pretending to be a doctor, he was pretending to be a pilot, a lawyer, for example, and some people say that they have the power to heal you by their hands or something. So that is called a charlatan. Okay, you better have to watch out from those type of people who claim that they have a particular skills, but they haven't. Okay, right. So the next one we have got is a civilian. A civilian. A civilian is a person who is not connected. A civilian is a person who's not connected to any army, any military, like people like you and I. We are the civilians, okay? The next one is a genius. A genius is a person who's basically just a genius, right? That's a genius. I think it's like Einstein, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, if you think about it, Steve Jobs. So these people are genius. Right, the next one is a hermit. Hermit. Hermit is also a sea animal. It's called this hermit crab. A hermit is a really nice person. It's basically a person who who does not who do not live with people. He lives somewhere very far away. Do you know what I mean? He lives like somewhere far away. That's basically a hermit is. He deliberately lives outside. Nobody's forcing him to do that, but he likes that. It could be a writer, J.K. Rowling, for example. I know she is kind of a hermit because when she was writing her Harry Potter, she was going to Scotland and she was staying in there. Okay, so that's called a hermit. Are you sometimes a hermit? Are you behave to be like a hermit, for example? So that's called a hermit. A person could be a hermit. Okay, number 9 is an infant. Infant. Infant is basically a small goo goo gaga. It's a very small baby. So an infant is a person who is a child. So could be 1 year old, less than 1 year. So that's an infant. All right. Number 10 is invigilator. Invigilator. Invigilator is a very important word, boys and girls. It means a person who is examining you during the exams, during the test, during some kind of thesis or your exam, your test. He's making sure that you're not doing any cheating, okay? So that's called as an invigilator. Right, the next one, number 11, is a miser. 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 Miser is a person who take count of every single penny and he really hates spending money. Yeah, like Uncle Scrooge. So, are you a miser? Well, everybody somehow can be a miser, and well, I'm definitely not a miser. I spend a lot of money. I'm rather the opposite of that. So, miser are the people who basically do not like to spend any money. They just like to save, 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 save. All right, the next one is a pen friend. Pen friend. What does it mean by pen friend? Pen friend is basically a person that you have never met, and but you just write to him. You write to him all the time during the emails and everything. That's a pen friend, and probably it could be the person from Australia, from the UK, from the US, and you're just writing to him, but you have never met this person. So that's a pen friend. The next one is skeptic. Skeptic. A skeptic is a person who basically he is not believing in everything. He needs an answer, and you cannot really convince him to do anything. He doesn't really believe in the claims and promises made by the people. So they are a bit skeptical. You can talk about bitcoins, for example. You can talk about the current stock market. You can talk about I'm a bit skeptical about the future of COVID, for example, about the vaccination, for example. So that is the a skeptic person. All right, the next one is a tycoon. A tycoon. What is a tycoon is? Tycoon is like Donald Trump, like a really powerful businessman. That's a tycoon. So tycoon are in Poland. You had a lot of tycoons as well. These are the people who are rich and they control most of the market. They do a lot of lobbying and they somehow give a lot of funds to the government as well. So they are like massive tycoons, right? The next one I'm going to give you a very nice one, and that's called as a bystander. I really like this word, bystander. Bystander is a person who is present when something happens and sees it, but he does not really take part in it. So I think that, let's say in Poland, in Warsaw, there were a lot of rants were happening. There was a bit of commotion when it comes to the strike and everything. A lot of people were taking part and they were doing some rallies and everything. But there were also some people who were bystanders, who were just looking at them, but they were not taking part in that. So those type of people are called as the bystander, okay? So there are 15 words for you guys. Try to watch the video one more time. try to revise the word, try to practice on the pronunciation, and and try to use them, because as I said, if you're not going to use it, you're going to forget it. So start using it today. Till then, see you later, boys and girls, and have a beautiful day.